against
and
New York
basically, my brother
because of
Michael,
the
who's covered in
standard
poison
of
ivy,
living.
and are filming
You know
the
what I
whole
mean?
thing.
Guys
And
with a family
it
and
was
all.
the funniest thing, because I
Joe
said, this is
wasn't
just
with a
like
family.
Massapequa all over
Joe
again,
said,
you know, just like growing up.
"Where are they in New York?" And the guy said, "Miller Place is the."
Right, he
Oh,
said
wow.
that they lived there.
He served in Miller Place can you imagine if you went down to this little park here? You'd see a little, what would you call it, Quonset hut where they slept, and you'd see missiles. They had them in little, like on 1 acre
Yeah.
pieces. Joe spent the war at Nanabessa's with his Jeep driver. The first day they pulled up, the driver said, Joe says, "Wait here." Joe's going in for lunch. Bess says, "Have the boy come in." He said, "No." Like all of a sudden, Joe thought he was from Mississippi. I can't eat with enlisted men. Like, like he's a big shot. Well, the kid came in, and Nana was all over him. She said, she says to the kid, "I'm the mother of 5 sons who all served." She was so proud of him.
Oh,
Yeah,
how sweet.
Nana Bess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But-
God.
But imagine Joe. Oh, Joe. Some dope had told him that, the captain or something.
You can't have them
So
inside.
the guy started to live at Nana Bess's. "We can drive to work, Lieutenant, from here. Look at what a nice setup we have."
Oh, that's great.
But he was great, Joe. Joe claimed Nana Bess as a deferment.
How did he do that? That he had to take care of her or something?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I already had done that. I was in the service before.
Yeah, so you claimed her.
The FBI.
No kidding.
Camp Lejeune. "Hey, Lieutenant, they want to see you over in the office." "Okay." The FBI is there with AK-47s and all. Just try to run. So they said, "You can't do that." I said, "I didn't know he was doing it. Wasn't he a scream?" Yeah. And I get a hold of Joe on the phone. I said, "You dope, I'm taking." "Oh, I didn't know it," he said. Oh,
And Nana
You're
Bess
fighting over
doesn't
it.
know any of it. And Nana Bess doesn't know anything.
Nana Bess is like, "I'm fine. What is wrong with you people?" You know? Yeah.
oh yeah, Nana Bess is double dipping.
Yeah.
Hey, this is wonderful. God bless the Army. I love them.
That's why Billy Joel got his deferment
Oh.
for Vietnam,
He said he was taking care of his mother?
taking care of his mother. He was healthy.
You'd get an allotment.
Right.
They'd send so much of your pay, plus they added to it.
To send home to your mother, you mean?
Send it home
How did
to
they
your
still do
mother.
that?
The
Oh,
worst
yeah.
thing why I cried at boot camp was the first night I was there. They say, "Get off the bus, you're all going home in boxes. Anyway, it doesn't
jeez.
matter." And if it was a little guy like me, they'd say, "In a shoebox." They,
Oh, my God.
and then they said, "Take off all your clothes." Take off all your clothes. They said, "Everybody is naked." They said, "Take your clothes and fold them and wrap them in this paper." Some poor fool said, "What about your underwear?" He said, "We'll show you what to do."
Oh, no.
So we pack all our clothes and with string and send home to Nana Bess your clothes.
Yeah.
My underwear that Nana Bess used to iron. They said, "Bring it over here to the fire." They threw the underwear in the fire. I'm saying,
my God.
"Jesus, my mother ironed that for me." "I'll iron you."
How long was boot camp for?
12 weeks.
Holy moly. And you came out of there probably, like weighing 30 pounds more of muscle?
Whatever you needed, you got. If you had to lose 30 pounds, you lost it. If you had to put on 30, you put it on.
Yeah, wow.
You got to.
They, and I checked in. When you get out of boot camp, you're a hero.
Yeah.
I checked into Lejeune one night by myself. The bus dropped me off at Courthouse Bay was the area, and I walk in, this real Ruff, sergeant, is there. He said, did you eat? I said, no. He said, then get over there and get some food. You can pick up your stuff and put your bunk when you get back. I got over there. There was a worse looking guy who was like the head of the, for guys checking in. He
Not at
worked,
the moment.
A great outlet.
he worked in the mess hall. He was like the head of the mess hall. And he said, sit down over there. How you doing? I said, good. What's new at boot camp? What's new in South Carolina? I said, nothing. It was, So you sit down. The guy is cooking over at the stove. Know what he gave me?
What?
A steak.
You're kidding me.
Oh, yeah. And he said, you're in the division now.
Wow.
Yeah. And like from the lowest guy, they have such respect.
Hello.
Janine just ducked.
That was great 3D right there.
He's like, "Hey, we're taking my hair off."
That
Okay.
the enlisted first, that the enlisted, the
Oh, yeah.
privates.
No, not in the States. In the combat.
Wait for Uncle Matt,
you
okay?
They eat first.
Really?
The lowest guy is the first
Wow.
for chow. Yeah.
But every brother went Army. No one did Navy, Air
I
Force.
did Marine Corps. And
Oh,
Uncle
Because
Jerry
you're
did
at
the
Paris
Marine
Island.
Corps.
right.
But the
right.
Marine Corps
Because-
didn't exist until Truman, right?
No, Truman, the gutsiest people that we've had as presidents, and he came after the Emperor FDR. That I cried when he died.
Yeah.
I cried and cried, and then came Harry Truman in 1948 by us. Don't forget about Congress and all the rest of it. A thing of the pen
Yeah.
integrated the services.
Wow.
Imagine that. Oh, jeez, he was great.
Think
That
about
was-
how brave that was then.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that
in
was
Missouri,
was
you know. Yeah, the guy was a hero.
Can I put in your switcher?
He's one of the underrateds.
Oh yeah,
Harry Truman.
old
He doesn't get enough credit. Just
brother Jack used to say that, and he loved the Republicans and the conservatives and all. Brother Jack.
Yeah.
But he said he was, up until then, he was a great president, doing what he do. He had to drop the atomic bomb.
Yeah, that's a tough decision.
He had, oh my God.
My God.
You know,
Someone-
I feel like though, to be a Republican and conservative like Uncle Jack was, is not what it is today.
No,
Today
no.
it's rabid and nasty and every bad thing. You know,
Aren't they awful?
awful.
Like
They're
they're,
vicious people.
They're vicious. What they tried to do up in District, in 23.
With
in,
Skazafava, yeah.
Yeah, up in upstate
Because she
New
was
York.
too liberal for a Republican.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. You can't be a Republican these days. You have to be an extreme right-wing Republican. You know, you can't have your own set of beliefs. You have to just believe what they believe.
And she was true, right? And the
Yeah.
Democrat.
Yeah, the Democrat won. Yeah, the Democrat won
Yeah.
there, so it was just crazy. I just feel like, I mean, people say
Because
that
of
in every
emotions, I
generation
think.
they talk about how partisan
Yes,
it is, but it does feel particularly partisan now.
oh,
I don't even think it was like the, it
And
was
not
as
one
bad as
person in the House voting for the health care bill, not one Republican?
No, one.
One did. One
One-
did.
one
From
guy.
Louisiana, I
A
think.
guy from Louisiana.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he will probably have to flip parties to stay in
Yeah.
office. Yeah, it is. It's just it's
Do you know-
insanely
Do
sad.
you know, because of Katrina, because of all the people who moved to Houston
Yeah.
after Katrina, Houston now. I didn't
Did
actually
she
look
win?
who won.
Yeah.
I should check that out. But I know, like a week before the election, I read there were 3 Democrats who were neck and neck. The Republican was lagging way far behind, and one of the 3 Democrats was an out lesbian.
Really?
And
In
I'm like,
Houston.
In Houston.
Wow.
Like, I mean, they would sooner elect a goat 10 years ago.
I
You know what
know.
I mean? So.
I mean, my whole I'm the like black sheep of my family. Like you
Yeah.
go to my aunt's house. There's pictures of her with Reagan and Bush Senior.
Wow.
It's like
No
it's like
kid-
how people used to have Kennedy up on the wall.
Now,
It's
Izzy
like
ran her out down in Texas. Still.
yeah, my aunt. Yeah,
Wow.
wow.
And in our house, it was,
Kennedy.
you wouldn't bring a picture of Reagan into our house growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we were the outliers in our neighborhood, Pocahontas Street. You know.
Well, I mean,
was-
yeah, town of Hempstead. I mean, growing up town of Hempstead, in order to get like a lifeguard job, you had to be a registered
Yeah.
Republican. I mean, forget about like you
Yeah.
know,
Jones Beach and.
Yeah, here
Jones
for
Beach, any of those.
Here for the park.
you and your family and everyone else had to be registered
Yeah.
Republican.
Swazi.
otherwise-
I mean, I can't believe it.
Well, he was an idiot.
Yes, but
Okay,
they
yeah.
got it
Swazi,
because
so
I
I had
taught
my-
at the high
Yes,
school.
exactly.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying
That's a
you
lot
learn
of, we
enough.
got
You know,
free
like
passes
you're-
and things because of dad
Yeah.
teaching at the high school.
What's that?
We got a free pass on some things because if you're a teacher too, you could
Yes,
get
they
friends.
let you.
Yeah.
They let you skate.
But still, it was I mean, our family was Democrat before being Democrat, and Pocahontas Street was Massapequa, very, very.
Massapequa's still pretty conservative.
Yeah,
But
I
you were
remember-
you were Nassau Shores.
we were Nassau Shores.
Oh, shit.
Oh yes.
Joe used to kid me about that. How are
He had
things
a
on the North
particularly-
Shore? He
You
said.
say how the things on Nassau Shores, right?
How are things? That's when I
He
started
called
You
it.
guys only got a
Called
reprieve
it
when
suck-ass
Matt
Shores.
married Jen, because of course her parents were from Croton in Westchester. So
Oh
then
my
he
God.
switched his, he switched his.
Larchmont Lockjaw. is
Yes,
what it
yes,
is.
Lockjaw.
I
There's like,
Um,
oh, you're fantastic.
I passed Croton on the way up on
Yeah.
684.
That's where Jen
Right.
Jen
Yeah.
grew up there. One of the only places along the Hudson in Westchester Rock where you can actually swim in the Hudson River at Croton. Did you know that?
No
There's a
kidding.
little beach at the park there where we go. We've gone there before for some stuff. They do like a Halloween thing there. And you can swim in a little beach. The other place is in Rockland County. You can actually swim now. In northern Rockland County, there's a little piece of like about the size of the living room that you can do swim. That you
There's
can swim.
they're like when I lived up in Albany, my friend Josh's house. He actually lived in Troy on the other side of the river,
Yeah.
and he had a little inlet
Yeah.
in his literally in his backyard. I mean, you wouldn't swim in it if you know. if
Now you
didn't
can.
mind-
Now you can.
Now
They
you
cleaned
can.
it up. It's really clean. It's beautiful. But
Yeah, I mean, no, this was like 10, 12 years ago.
it was River Keepers. What happened there was
Yeah,
that was
the
that
River
long,
Keepers.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. There was that long,
Yeah, I contribute to them. I
Close
can-
the tears.
yeah, there was that long
Yeah.
settlement with GE where they dumped all kinds of toxic stuff in
Yeah,
the
With the
that's all
PCBs.
condos now or
Yeah, and they
something.
finally cleaned
What
it up.
is?
GE had this.
Well, they did the PCBs when
Yeah.
Jack Welch was still the
yeah,
the
and so
CEO.
they
yeah.
finally agreed to clean it up, and they cleaned it up, and they test the Hudson River. The Hudson River is very clean now, thanks to
Yeah, but
thanks
who
to
was the
Democrats.
singer?
Pete
Joe-
Seeger.
Pete
Pete
Seeger,
Seeger.
Clearwater, yeah.
On the
Yeah.
Clearwater.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, what's interesting is when you look at former presidents who are still living, the ones that do the most for the world are out there with foundations and whatever
As
are
ambassadors.
Democrats.
Yeah.
With the,
Yeah.
with the possible exception of George Bush, like Bush 41, who's
Yeah,
been
but-
out there a little bit.
A little bit, but he was out there with Clinton. The only
Yes,
reason, the
he
only
stumped
reason that
with
whole
Clinton.
tsunami thing went because at least his
Bill
son
Clinton.
was smart enough one time
Yeah.
to put a guy like Clinton,
Yeah.
you know, who's
Yeah,
going to draw
Even
people.
George W. Bush knew his father wouldn't go do it unless
Do you know
he
they're
forced his
doing?
hand.
They're doing. I saw this in the paper. They're doing a lecture together.
Got canceled. You
It
know
did.
why?
February
got
25th.
canceled,
It was
yeah.
supposed to be.
Yeah.
Got canceled
Because
because
W
there was too
chickened
much
out?
publicity, and George W. canceled it. Said nope, that's not what I signed up for. Got canceled.
Because like I want people actually
Oh, you
looking
saw
at
it
me.
last week.
Got
It was
canceled.
February
What was he
25th
gonna
and
be
then
speaking
George
of?
W. Bush versus Bill Clinton, and they were going to
Yeah,
speak.
they were gonna have a debate.
a debate. And what was it?
Jesus.
How long would it last? 2 minutes. George W. Bush would be humming.
Yeah, Clinton would say no.
It was supposed to be a town hall.
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You know.
February
Yeah.
25th, because I was, I'll be in
Yeah,
Florida.
Clinton would just be like, nope.
But they
sorry.
said in the paper, and W calls Bill his brother, and they're very good friends. I'm thinking, oh my God.
Yeah,
Do
right.
you know who's going to be speaking on Long Island? I said to Jim, we're coming back from Indianapolis that day. December 2nd, Greg Mortensen, the man who wrote Three Cups of Tea.
3 cups of tea.
Oh,
That's
he's
an
going to be at
incredible book.
Hofstra.
Wow.
Really?
Yes, and it's only $30, and you
I
get
told
his
my
new
sister,
book.
She loves that book, yeah.
He has
Yeah.
been called every anti-American slur
Yeah.
because people think that he should not be supporting Muslim education.
Oh my
Don't
God.
they get it? When you educate girls, it changes the face
face
of
of the
politics.
earth,
It
right.
changes the face of the earth. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't understate it enough, and that's his thing: is you educate children.
He started
you
with
educate
one
girls.
school and
And that's, that's
we
what bothers
did
me about
it.
the
We
thing
did
at
it in our
Fort
book
Hood.
group.
Yeah.
Three cups
Here
of
we
tea.
go again.
Fascinating
and
book,
everybody
isn't it?
will be
Oh,
targeting
fantastic.
Muslims again because of what this
Because of
guy
what happened
did
at Fort
Hood.
Bragg,
You know,
Fort Hood.
and it's
Sorry.
like nobody targeted Christians when Timothy, when
No.
Timothy
McVeigh,
McVeigh,
like
which
blew
was
up,
the
you know.
second
I
most
said that to
horrendous
my
terrorist
cousin,
act
who's,
in this
like,
country
we
was
have to
committed
get
by
rid
an
of
American.
all- and I
A
said,
white Christian
military
man.
man.
How
A white
about if they-
Christian military man.
Yep.
How I said to my cousin, I said, who's very, very prejudiced, and he, we have to get rid and we have to do this. And I said, nobody said anything about Timothy McVeigh. Hello, Mick.
Who was trained
Yeah.
by the American
Irish.
military who is trained by
Yeah, nobody's-
right? And that's the
nobody's,
thing they're not talking about is the extreme right wing
Thank you, Julie.
anti
That's why I
Muslim
sat next to
sentiment.
Julie.
Yeah, that's Matt's. You can have that. But the extreme right wing anti Muslim sentiment being fomented in military training.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes, no, we're discussing that.
Well, I mean, heck, how else are they going to tell people to, that how else are you going to entice people to fight an endless war?
Yeah.
I mean, that's an endless war.
Yeah,